This is National 5 homework help due Friday the 27th of May for S4. So starting with question 1 on the non-calculator, you're told the gradient is -3 and the line passes through point 6 minus 2. Straight line, equation for straight line is y minus b equals m times x minus a. So we have m, we know that m is -3, we have a, and we have b. All we are doing, okay, a and b, all we're doing is substituting m, a and b into this equation and then rearranging it so it is in the form y equals and so on. Question 2 is solving an inequality, so you want to use the same method as you would if it was an equation. The only difference is in this case we have a less than symbol instead of an equal sign. So your first step is going to take 4a from either side, and then your next step will be to get the numbers on the other side. Your -2 and your +5, they need to be on the same side. The only time the inequality sign changes direction is if a negative changes to a positive or vice versa. Question 3 is a simultaneous equations question. So I've drawn a table up here just to map out my information that I've been given. We know that it's £10 for an adult ticket on the coach, £6 for a child ticket, £20 for an adult into the theme park, and £15 for a child into the theme park. So let A equal the number of adult tickets and C equal the number of child tickets. So one of your equations, for example, the theme park, we're told that all the theme park tickets in total cost £560, okay? Which means it must be however many adults tickets they sell times £20 plus however many child tickets they've sold times £15. So your first equation is 20a plus 15c equals 560. So your next step is to then find a similar equation but for the coach, okay, for the coach tickets. Once you've done that, part B asks you to find the value, asks you to find how many adult and how many child tickets were sold. So you can then solve the equations simultaneously as we've been doing in class. Question 4 is asking you to factorise this equation. Everyone uses their own method, they've got their own preferences. I don't mind which method you use. Your aim is to end up with double brackets at the end. That is what we mean by factorising. Method I use, I'm going to start by doing 3 times -8, which is -24. And I'm going to list all my factors of -24. So first one that comes to mind is -12 times 2. So -12 times 2 gives you -24. However, I want it so that when I add them together, I get +2. Okay, another one I'm going to try is -6, +4. Now -6 add 4 would give me -2. So what I'm going to do is try swapping the signs around. 6 minus 4 gives me 2. So I'm going to use that one there. Once I've got that, I'm going to rewrite my initial equation, 3x squared. But instead of plus 2x, I'm going to use my 6x minus 4x. And then shove my -8 on the end. Okay, you're now looking at this as two separate parts for now. First thing to do is to find your common factor. So common factor of 3x squared and 6x is 3x. So that's going to be x plus 2. 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times 2 is 6x. And then my common factor of -4x and -8 is going to be -4. So that's going to be x plus 2. If you've done this correctly, you should have the x plus 2 in both brackets. So that is giving you your first set of brackets. Sorry, your first equation in the brackets. The other one, you're taking the 3x and the -4 and putting them into your second bracket. question 1 on the calculator side asks you to find out the area of a sector. If we have angle N here, then the area of a sector, we've got area is N divided by 360 times pi r squared. Okay, we have r, we obviously have pi, and we do not, however, know what n is. So before we can put our values into that formula, we need to find the value of n. Now, one way of doing that is by splitting this down the middle and getting a right angled triangle. Okay, so this, instead of 4, it's just half of it, so it's just going to be 2 centimetres. That will be 6 centimetres, and we've got an angle here. Okay, now if we work out this angle, remember that it's only half of it, so we have to times it by 2 before substituting it into our sector area formula. So to work out this angle, let's just call it angle X for now. Okay, we can use SOHCAHTOA. Once you've got the value for X, times it by 2, and then that can give you your value for N to put into the formula. Question 2 is a percentages question. So we're told that they've walked up the hill and it's 980 metres high. They still have 20% to go. 100 take away 20 is 80, so that means they've walked up 80% of the hill. Okay? We want to know what 100% of the hill is. That's what we're trying to find out. Your first step is to work out 10%, nice and easy, by dividing both sides by 8. Once you've got what 10% is, you can then times by 10 on both sides to get 100%. Question 3, you are asked to expand brackets and simplify. So your first step, you can either multiply the 5 by the x squared plus 5, and then you'll have a new set of brackets times 8x minus 3, or you might want to multiply out these two brackets first. So that's the way I'm going to do it. So I'm going to leave the 5 where it is just now, and then I'm going to have a new set of brackets. So 8x times x squared is going to be 8x cubed. Okay. Then we're going to have 5 times minus 3, so minus 15. 5 times 8x, which is 40x. And then x squared times minus 3x. Sorry, x squared times minus 3. Then you've got your other set of brackets, minus 11 times x minus 11 times 3. Okay. The next step is everything in these brackets here, you're going to multiply by 5. Once you've done that, you shouldn't have any brackets left, and you can just collect like terms and simplify.